Dad,
Yes, JJ.
welcome to the 38th episode of Breakdown.
Break it down. All right.
The Final Four is in the rear view. We've crowned a national champion. We'll briefly overview that and talk about the SEC and Big Ten, how the basketball landscape looks like for them for a little
Okay.
bit. And this will be a short one. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Born ready. Stole that from somebody.
All right.
All right.
Okay, so as we all know, Kansas won the national championship, not Arkansas, unfortunately. It had a lot of the same letters that are in Arkansas,
They
but
was missing. They was missing two letters.
the two most important ones, yeah.
Okay.
Um, but that's all well and good. And now they've released a top 25 way too early.
I like the one at ESPN.
They've Sports Illustrated does it, CBS does it, they all do it. ESPN's my favorite though because guess who they have at number one, Dad?
Not Kansas.
No, not Kansas.
Must be Arkansas. All right.
Absolutely correct.
The way too early pick for the number one basketball team next season by ESPN Arkansas. I like ESPN.
I like them too. Now we still don't know who's going and who's staying. So we know Chris Likes is going because he doesn't have any eligibility.
Correct.
But we don't know about Audis Tony, JT Note entered the draft, but his agent status, last time I checked, was still a little unclear.
Yeah, I think Note is gone.
Yeah, I think he's going to.
Jalen Williams has entered as well.
But he has not hired an agent. He's just trying to get that feedback, I think.
I think so too.
But
hoping he stayed for Arkansas' sake. But if he gets some great feedback that tells him to go, then I say he should go.
Absolutely. I agree as well. I think he'll come back though, and you add the 3 McDonald's All-Americans to Arkansas's team,
And not only that, if you add, there are 6 recruits. I think all of them are top 100s. And Trayvon Brazil, the transfer from Missouri, I think he's going to be way better than people might think. I think he's gonna be good, but we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
You have a lot of recruits, but Eric Musselman is known for only playing 6 or 7 guys. So how is he going to keep all those people happy?
And that's a good question. That's an excellent question. Muss, what's your plan? I wish I could. I wish he would on the phone to tell me, but he'll figure it out.
Just a comment on the ESPN way too early top 25. Arkansas is number 1. The next SEC or Big Ten school is Kentucky at number 7. And then it's not until you have to get outside the top 10, get to 11 before you get a Big Ten school, and that's Michigan. And then
Hunter Dickerson?
Well, I'm sure that's assuming that he comes back, which he might want to do. The NIL could be very fruitful for someone at University of Michigan with that type of alumni base, and he does not have a first round draft grade as of yet. So
I'm surprised to hear that. JJ, run down the other ones you want to run, and then I want to talk about the NIL a little bit. Go ahead.
All right. After Michigan at 11, you have Tennessee at 14, Alabama at 15, Auburn at 16. So 3 straight.
Time out. All those names you named off 5 SEC teams. I've only heard 1 Big Ten.
And the next 3 names you hear will be Big Ten.
Okay. Okay.
And then right after Auburn at 16, that is Illinois at 17, and then Indiana at 21, and Purdue at 23.
I'm surprised Purdue is so low.
Yeah,
but I know they're losing a couple of big key players. So.
Yeah, Trayvon Williams is gone, Jaden Ivey's gone, so
yeah.
It's looking like they have the SEC is a little more top heavy than the Big Ten. The Big Ten is well represented, but they're in the back half of the top 25. It looks like.
Yeah, Michigan State was not even in the top 25 to start this last season, and they ended up having a really decent team. They broke the top 10 for us for a while. They had Duke on the ropes. Had them on the ropes.
Yeah.
Duke came back and beat them.
They did.
Can I talk about the NIL?
Absolutely. You can talk about whatever you want.
JJ, I want to talk about Arkansas recruits and Alabama recruits. Are they just getting these players because the coaches are such great recruiters, is Neil name, image, and likeness playing any part of this?
I would think that NIL would have a pretty large part of recruiting going forward for any every university in America.
Okay, okay. One day we're gonna have to talk about Tennessee and their $8 million recruit, but we're gonna stick with the basketball right now. Are you surprised that Arkansas is recruiting so well?
Yeah, I mean, when's the last time they had the number one recruiting class in the country?
They had it one year when Nolan Richardson was there, but the problem is, I think only one of those guys actually made it on campus. There was a lot of things went haywire back then. That was probably 95 or 94. It was the early 90s. It was, yeah, they did, but everything went bad.
Well, Nolan is famous for saying we don't need those McDonald's All American. We'll be fine with our Burger King guys. That's what he's famous for saying that. So
I remember him saying that.
So they never really got the number one class to materialize and come into fruition on Fayetteville.
They did have the number one recruiting class
in name, but they didn't actually have it.
Show up for the campus.
So they didn't have the number one recruiting class.
Okay, so some of them were ineligible and a lot of things, but that's neither here nor there. But I bring all this up because I think the Neil contract that these players are getting that we're not hearing about, I think it's phenomenal. I think they're getting some great deals. And Arkansas has some powerhouse corporations to back up their Neil. Number one, their stadium is named after a powerhouse corporation, company guy or president of the company guy, founder, Walton. Walmart.
Yeah, the Waltons.
I mean, so that's just one. They got some more. J.B. Hunt, Tyson, Chicken. All of them are within 30 miles of the campus of Arkansas University of Arkansas. So I'm guessing that the Neil deal is doing great. One last thing, JJ, and I know I don't want to go too long on this. The bus, Gus. He has had a top 10 recruit 3 years in a row. He's gone to the Elite Eight 2 years in a row.
Who was his top 10 recruit 2 years ago?
The recruiting class. Recruiting class. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Recruiting class.
Because I know Moses Moody wasn't. So I was confused.
Okay, but I said all of that. Having that recruiting class, top 10 3 years in a row, and going to the Elite Eight 2 years in a row, how's security at Arkansas? Is Arkansas a destination for a coaching spot? How good is Arkansas becoming as a destination?
I think because of NIL, it is more of a destination than it otherwise might have possibly been. Arkansas is the only university in the state as it pertains to like the Power 5, Power 6 in basketball, including the Big East. So like they're the only show in town. I think Fayetteville is listed as one of the. I think it was the second best place to live in under 100,000 people or whatever. So I think, you're doing everything that you can from a collegiate level. There's always the potential that he might want to revisit the NBA.
So if Calipari goes pro, we won't have to worry about Kentucky being able to steal him.
I think the only places that you would have to worry about are the blue bloods, like Kentucky, like UCLA, like Kansas, like North Carolina, like Duke. I think outside of those schools, I don't think he would leave for a Michigan. I don't think he'd leave for a Michigan State. I don't think he'd leave for an Indiana. Indiana's not their blue blood status is on the fringe at this point.
I agree. Okay, I kind of interrupted you to talk about that for a moment, but I was just curious about that. JJ, I do want to give a shout out to South Carolina women's basketball team. Guess what they did?
Won a championship.
They won a championship, the second one for Coach Staley.
Yeah.
Good for South Carolina.
Good for her.
Yes. Now we said this was going to be kind of quick. Are there any other items that you want to hit on? Kansas, Kentucky.
Kansas has overtaken Kentucky for the winningest program of all time momentarily. We'll see if Kentucky can overtake them or the NCAA can decide that some of Kansas's wins are retroactively no longer valid. So,
you make a good point. This year, Kansas, I would say within the next 3 months, Kansas will be getting a letter of allegation from the NCAA
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see what happened. I know Arizona fired their coach. This all stemmed back from stuff that happened in 2017.
Louisville's waiting on it.
LSU
Yeah.
program has been decimated. Every single player or scholarship player on that team has entered the transfer.
And every recruit from the next 2 years has decommitted.
Yes.
So
Well, Kansas faced similar fate.
No, I don't think so because if whatever Kansas does, apparently they gave Bill Self the lifetime contract in part to influence recruits to let them know like, whatever happens, it'll be a 1 year blip. Bill Self will be right back in the head chair as soon as their punishment is over. So.
Okay.
And I think that status is only more underscored after what happened last night or 2 nights ago.
Oh, after winning it all.
Yeah.
Okay, I hear you.
Put himself in elite category. There's so many coaches that only have one, like Izzo, Boeheim, those guys.
Yeah, and we kind of skimmed over that win last Monday, but they were down 18 points.
Biggest comeback in college championship game history.
Did in what ways did North Carolina choke?
Well, they played 6 players. They didn't substitute any other starters in the second half until I can't remember when, but it was like there was 6 minutes left in the game. But I can't remember who got subbed for it.
Yeah, and they had done the same thing the previous win.
Yeah, and North Carolina's they're not deep. I mean, they make Eric Musselman look like like Penny Hardaway or something. Like he's going to everyone. But that UNC was banged up. Brady Minnick got hit in the face multiple times. Caleb Love twisted his ankle. Armando Bacot twisted his ankle. Did you see the replay of the floor coming up?
They said that the floor moved.
Did you see it?
I didn't see it. I read it.
I'll show it to you when we're done.
Okay.
He might have a lawsuit. Like remember when Reggie Bush won the lawsuit from the St. Louis Rams on the stadium issues?
I did not.
Well, he won a lawsuit. That effectively ended his career.
I know Bubba Smith won a lawsuit for the chain marker stuff, but he got injured. But no, the floor moved. Did it move a lot?
Oh, when you see it on replay, I've never seen that before in basketball. Like the floorboard came up. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, Caleb Love twisted his ankle. Pooh Johnson got hit in the stomach and threw up on the court. Baycott twisted his ankle. So they were beaten, and I mean they didn't have the depth, and Kansas did.
It's a close game still.
Yeah.
All right. Well, congratulations to Jayhawk.
All right. Well, before we leave, I will just say that not only does ESPN have Arkansas number 1, BetOnline has Arkansas with the best odds to win the championship next year.
WPS.
Ahead of Duke, then Gonzaga, and Kentucky is 4th.
Hey, when I go to Vegas, JJ, I'm going to take a few dollars with me and I'm going to lay it, every penny of it down on the WPS.
It's good to be a Razorback, number 1 in basketball, I think number 2 in baseball. Just got to get football together and we'll be sitting pretty.
They were 9-4 in football last year.
That's true, but that's not number 1 and number 2.
They got the Heisman Trophy quarterback going to be playing this year for them.
Well, if he wins the Heisman, then that will indeed be what we need.
It's a good year to be a Razorback. WPS. All right.
It's a good year.
Anything else?
No, that's it. We're going to get out.
All right. WPS, we'll pick Suey.
Let's do it.